Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope that you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by commenting, or by subscribing if you are new here. I don't know if you've noticed the last couple of videos, I've been slouching quite a lot. Even in one of the other videos, I think you could basically only see the top of my forehead. It wasn't that dramatic, but you understand what I'm saying. So trying to improve my posture, so apologies if I look more poised than usual. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it. I'm going to work backwards as I normally do so that we can currently get to where we are right now. For those of you who missed it over the weekend, Bitcoin had a major upgrade that allowed it to have more private transactions. A lot of articles are floating around right now discussing why Bitcoin's price was flat, or why it didn't move after a successful upgrade. Normally, historically, we have seen that whenever Bitcoin gets upgraded, or Bitcoin has more improvements, or Bitcoin has extra side chains that are going to actually be used, Bitcoin's price tends to always move up. That is just the logic. If Bitcoin is the market and Bitcoin is the number one coin in the market, therefore we would see a movement. However, the price barely moved, I guess because of lack of excitement. I do not believe, once again, as I said yesterday, that I think 99% of people in the actual market are clearly here for money. That's fine, cool, live your life. But I think the old days of people actually caring about decentralization, or what Bitcoin is for, or what Bitcoin is going to be, I think is still going to, I think that's completely changing, is going to be quite staggering for a lot of people. It has to do with, we've discussed this once before, I mean, in many other videos, like a long time ago. The idea of even investing is still quite new to a lot of people. And I don't mean this in a mean way by any means. It has to do with the fact that I forgot what the question was. It's some old parable lesson or whatever it's called, where you ask someone, would you rather have, $5 today or 100 down the line, but the 100 down the line comes in 2 years, and most people will say, well, I want the $5 right now, and they usually end up spending the $5. Like, people tend to not think about the long term of where all of this is going. Not to get into this conversation once again, but it has to do with the people who sold Bitcoin at 4,000 or at 16,000 or at 25,000, who don't understand that there is a huge possibility that Bitcoin might hit $100,000, $250,000, $3 million in 20 to 30 years, and what that means for older fiat currencies. But alas, bringing it back to 2021, Bitcoin's price did not move. However, a few hours later, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says crypto markets dump $200 billion as correction deepens. Now, when I saw this news, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't angry. I was more curious. I sit there wondering why these things took place, because there's usually, depending on the day, an actual answer to why prices have fallen down. It says Ethereum price analysis, Ethereum trims gains, $4,000 holds the key. I believe this is also something very similar as well. Will Bitcoin hold 60,000? Leverage shakeout close to complete, data suggests. So we are now on the forked road. We have the situation where Ethereum looks like it's going to have 4,000 as the new price bottom, and Bitcoin continues, at least at the time of me making this video, to hold $60,000. This seems to be the new bottom price level, if you will, which is a very good indication for the future, usually meaning that if there is some type of a major rush down in price, 60,000 would normally hold that level. When looking for the actual reasons as to why prices fell, a lot of articles kept on referring to a leverage shakeout. People who were either betting too long, betting too much, 100x, yada, yada, yada. You kind of can see the idea there. Basically being shaked out of the market. This is not the first time that we've heard of something like this. This is at least the fifth or sixth time this year that I can remember the term leverage shakeout. And usually, as far as I can understand, has to do with other people in the market trying to make sure that people don't have long, super long, over leveraged positions in the market, and therefore they shake them out as if you were shaking a tree, and these people fall to the ground, and then the market begins to move back up. That's the most simplified way of kind of saying it. It says data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin $60,000 coming down. Bitcoin coming down from Monday's local high of $66,000, bouncing at 60,350. The pair nonetheless traded at the lowest since the 6th of November. As leveraged traders felt the pain, optimism remained that the shakeout of positions on derivatives exchanges was nearing completion, with a resumption of upside taking off thereafter. Bitcoin's currently up $500, $600, $700, $800 from the bouncing off of relatively around 60,000 US dollars. This was more of the major news story that I saw kind of going around. Once again, we've heard this before. We can never be too sure if it's true. There's usually about 5 sides to every story that happens within the cryptocurrency space. You'll see. We have 2 today. By tomorrow, there will be something else, and I assume it'll have to do with China, not even in a joking way. It just always kinds of ends up being X country did X, and therefore X happened to our markets, and not to be left out either at all. It says Bitcoin just flashed a pattern that historically leads to parabolic price rises, according to an analyst. Sure. Every time. Now, once again, and I understand if you are new here, these moments may be terrifying or you simply don't understand. And this is why I say a lot of times, you may have heard in other videos, and I mean these things. I'm not saying these things just to hear myself speak. This is why I always say, if you've been here for a year, if you've been here for 9 months, if you've been here for 2, 3, 4 years, you understand a little bit better, because these events continue to happen over and over. Like it's not even that history is repeating itself in the cryptocurrency space. It's just a mimic of something that always takes place every 2 to 3 months. Normally, whenever events like this happen and the shakeout of leverage positions has taken place, there's usually news of a flashing signal in the cryptocurrency space that prices are going to move back up, and typically 2 days later, we end up hitting a new all-time high. It's just how the market is. I'm not saying that that's what's going to be this time, but the cryptocurrency market is incredibly predictable. Now, here's the, besides the leveraged idea of what actually took place. When looking around, here's the other reason, apparently, why prices fell down. This one, I believe a little bit more, but I would love if people weren't so easily terrified. That's a really nice way of saying it. I would love if people simply read a little bit more, because this would mean that from both sides, the cryptocurrency market once again shouldn't have fallen at all. It says President Joe Biden signed into law on Monday the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, which contains a controversial cryptocurrency tax reporting requirement. The crypto industry was concerned, and I don't really think it was the crypto industry so much as actual major players in the space. That's not to say that normal people probably weren't concerned about said bill. However, this bill targets very specific people, and you will see in a couple of seconds. This says the crypto industry was concerned about a tax reporting requirement within the bill that sought to expand the definition of a broker for the IRS. The bill would require all brokers to report transactions under the current tax code. And I say this, it probably does not affect 99% of people, because how many of you have a broker? How many of you have a cryptocurrency broker? You see, it kind of settles it into one direct category of people who have very large amounts of cryptocurrencies, who over the last couple of years have decided to not custody the cryptocurrency themselves and have given it to a broker. It says industry proponents would worry that the definition would be too broad, capturing entities such as miners and parties that don't actually facilitate transactions. A lot of the people who have come out in opposition of this, I do not know them. I know nothing of their inner workings. However, I would assume a lot of them have probably their hand in the cryptocurrency mining industry. And this is what I mentioned before a couple of years ago. I said, doesn't it seem kind of weird that all these billionaires are now coming out in support of cryptocurrencies and saying that mining is going to take over the world? And I'm like, you as a billionaire, would not announce that mining is going to be a big industry unless you held a huge portion of the pie. Where are all these billionaires and multimillionaires coming from talking about the magic of Ethereum? You do not announce things like that out loud unless you want other people to take money that could potentially go into your pockets. Senator Cynthia Lummis and others are attempting to narrow the scope of the law's crypto broker clause with a separate bill introduced on Monday. So basically, the idea in one of the majorer ideas, as far as I understand, is that they're mainly trying to get the word broker changed to be something very specific. What exact line of work is this person working in that gives them the definition of a broker? Is it simply someone who's holding my crypto, who has custody of my crypto, who's using my crypto, who moves around my crypto? That's kind of the idea of what this new bill that was introduced is trying to fix. It says another provision opposed by the crypto industry essentially requires recipients. Now, here's the really weird part, and I understand why this part was added in. It has to do with control. This has nothing to do with consumer protection. This has nothing to do with anything. It has to do with trying to get control over money that's flowing everywhere, especially in a more digital space. They want to know basically where all cryptocurrency transactions are happening. But part of the problem is that's not how the space works. It's not me raising my hand and saying revolution. It's really just being completely honest about how the cryptocurrency market and the infrastructure built around it has been built over the last 12 years. It says another provision opposed by the crypto industry essentially requires recipients, people who receive transactions over $1,000, to verify the sender's personal information and record his or her social security number. How? Basically meaning every time you receive a transaction or you send a transaction, you are basically supposed to include your name, number, and I assume address, and also social security number along with that transaction. Doesn't seem plausible. The nature of the transaction and other information, and report the transaction to the government within 15 days. Like I said, it's not me trying to, stand up for liberty. It's just more like, how is that supposed to take place? Some lawyers have pointed out when applied to cryptocurrencies and other digital assets like NFTs, or even people using DeFi platforms, it would be nearly impossible to comply. Yeah. So I believe that this would have had more of an effect on the market. Not to say that the shaking out of the leverage positions wouldn't have done it, but I assume that there were at least a handful of rather wealthy individuals who were maybe scared, who tried to sell off. Once again, I don't know. I'm not in the room with these people. I don't have conversations with them. However, this one seemed to be more pressuring for the richest among us. And here's the other one talking about them trying to introduce a new thing to get around the infrastructure bill. I always really wonder, in not a joking way, who writes these laws, and I mean it in a realistic way. I wonder if they know what the cryptocurrency industry is, how it's built, the structure around it. You might remember a couple of days ago, I was saying that when I first got into this space, one of the ideas was, if it gets broke, fix it, but even better. The idea being that every single time that something has failed in the cryptocurrency space, it's been rebuilt, but in a more decentralized way. When 5 things appear that are more decentralized, eventually 1 or 2 of them gets broken. People figure out how to get into them, or government, whatever, they can say, hey, we figured it out, we pulled the string, the entire thing fell apart. These 2 that fail are then replaced by 5 more that are even more decentralized, that have no governing body, that are, DAO, yada, yada, yada. And this is basically what's going to happen in the cryptocurrency space. If this bill does become something major, or that really tries to dig deep into the cryptocurrency space, I'm not really sure what to say. New things will simply be built that gets around this. I don't know how to say that in a very nice way, but this is not going to happen. And I assume that the other law that they're also trying to get passed is also going to not broaden the term of broker. It's going to clearly define it. But even then, This doesn't affect a huge portion of the cryptocurrency market. It affects a very thin slice of people who are extremely wealthy. And usually what we've seen before in the past is that in 2 days, people will forget that this was even news. And not in a joking way. This always happens. We always have, remember all the news from China and the cryptocurrency mining equipment and the bans that they had? And then 3 days later, we were back up where we were before. I think a lot of times we're told that this news is meant to scare us or make us think that something terribly, is going to happen in the cryptocurrency space, and we always bounce back. Anyway, that's all the price news. I don't know if I warned you at the beginning of the video that it was going to be a bit all over the place, but at the moment, at the time of me making this video, this is all that we know. It's either the leveraged positions or the new infrastructure bill, which, yeah. Anyway, that's the price news. And let's move on. Also in the news, and something that is incredibly bullish, I mean, in more ways than you can imagine, on-chain data has shown that exchanges have observed Ethereum outflows of over 100,000 Ether just yesterday. Here's what it may mean for the coin's price. It means it may go up. The idea that we've had, and this is a very clean metric that we've had in the cryptocurrency space. If we see on any given day, month, year, long time frame, let's say 6 months, that the amount of Ethereum or Bitcoin on a cryptocurrency exchange has continued to increase, it is usually sometimes an indication that larger entities or the people at large may be looking to sell off their coins. If there's only 1,000 on a cryptocurrency exchange, well, that's not a lot. If there's 220,000, they're only there to be traded or to be sold off for fiat currencies. The opposite is also true, in that if we see that there are 220,000 Ethereum on an exchange, we look the next day, there's 80,000. The next day, there's 50,000. The next day, there's only 1,000. This usually means that people are taking their coins off of these exchanges as they have no future intent to sell them. They may be wanting to custody them themselves, which also no future intent to sell them. A lot of people we have been hearing over the year as well have been buying up huge amounts of Ethereum to be able to stake Ethereum themselves. We know that Ethereum is very close to not only the Ice Age, but also the merger, which, according to legend, is going to happen between now and the next 7 months or so, which seems like a long time, but this year is almost over. It was just January. So yesterday alone, 100,000 Ethereum left cryptocurrency exchanges. That is an enormous amount of Ether to leave at one time. No indication as to where it went or to what wallet or to what their social security number was, because that's just how the cryptocurrency market works. However, this is absolutely major. There's a little chart right here, and I tried to enlarge it here. It doesn't still really work as well, especially if you are looking on a phone or another device. But it says in red, outflow of 103,000 Ether. This isn't extremely bullish. We're seeing the exact same thing for Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies at the moment, which also makes it a little bit more confusing to me, and I'm sure to you, as to why these prices would be falling at all. I think it just momentary fear. This is all I can tell myself. It has to just be these moments of fear that certain people have, because I would love to believe that the wider cryptocurrency market has some type of logic to it, and people simply don't panic because of something that's going to be forgotten about in 2 days. Moving along. Also in the news, now this is not to be confused with the last 7 other articles that we've been reading about this. This was one of the most, besides the infrastructure bill moving the price down news, this was the most popular news of the day. The CEO of the world's largest movie company, AMC Entertainment, says that the payment service provider BitPay has agreed to support Shiba Inu at his request. AMC will be able to accept Shiba Inu payments within the next few months. AMC CEO Adam Aron announced on Monday evening that AMC will soon be able to accept the coin Shiba Inu AMC is the largest movie theater company in US, Europe, and the world. Wait, what? US, Europe, and the world? Why not just say and the world or in the world? I'm pretty sure the US and Europe are encompassed in the world. As of the 31st of March, the company owned or operated about 950 theaters and 10,500 screens globally. And here's the tweet for it right here. So once again, the news that we had before, about a week ago, was that they were looking to accepting cryptocurrencies. About a day later, we had news that they were going to accept cryptocurrencies. A day after that, it was the news that they were going to be accepting Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bcash, and maybe that was it. Was it 4 coins or 5 coins? It wasn't any other like spectacularly weird coins. Maybe it was Dogecoin. I think Dogecoin was also part of one of the coins as well. And then we had news yesterday that they were looking into the idea of accepting Shiba Inu before Robinhood actually did. And even more so, if you missed yesterday's video, go watch it. No, but also, everyone has started accepting Shiba Inu except for Robinhood, and I'm not sure why people still care about Robinhood. Like, I honestly don't understand what the fascination is. Like, it's not the best trading, amazing, awesome, cool, seamless platform that there is. I don't think they give you money for using their platform. I don't use it myself, but just going to assume that every time you sign in, they don't give you a free dollar. I don't know what the fascination is. So, yes, officially, AMC is now accepting Shiba Inu, and they say this will take between 60 to 120 days. Why it's going to take so long, I'm not really sure. I assume regulatory approval. They're working with BitPay, and I assume BitPay has to update their systems. I don't get why things take so long all the time for everything. I'm just going to assume regulations. Yes, we are currently at the point where I think everything major on the planet is now accepting Shiba Inu. So the only other thing left to do realistically is to have the continual coin burns for people to use their Shiba Inus to go see the Avengers 16 and to get to 1 cent, as far as I understand the tale of Shiba Inu. Anyway, that's the Shiba Inu news. This was incredibly popular news all over the place. And yeah, let's move on. And to finish things off in news that's been floating around the last couple of days, I'm not really sure how else to really put that. Recently, Charles Hoskinson, the co-founder and CEO of Input Output Hong Kong, the company responsible for building Cardano, commented on what's in store for Cardano's users and developers in the coming year. Last Friday, he tweeted, "I'm really loving how the roadmap for 2022 is coming together. It's a living ecosystem, growing, refining, adapting, and becoming stronger. The technology is unbelievable, and we have so many great innovations coming to meet the hundreds of projects building on Cardano." So, as far as I understand it, the things that are coming is they are another test net, and I don't really feel like reading all this stuff because it's not that insane as one would actually believe. And I'll show you these charts as well for all this stuff being built on Cardano. Maybe it's also here as well. Like, it's been floating around for the last couple of days, but apparently people are now losing their minds about this news like today, even though this came out about 3 days ago. I was leaving it for news I missed, but alas, all the girls are losing their minds. Where's the actual news about it? It has something to do with their building. There we go. Sunday Swap. Sunday Swap is a decentralized exchange being built on Cardano, and they have some fireworks coming, and integration with the wallet is also going to be a thing. They're moving into the Basho era of their roadmap. That is the BASHO. In this phase, the network plans to make Cardano a lot more scalable than it currently is. No numbers as to what that actually means. Is more scalable 1 extra transaction per second? And I'd say this not to be cynical, but it's more of we get a lot of news like this from Cardano. We get a lot of articles about Cardano, but they never actually say what's happening. Like when we heard that Bitcoin was going to have Taproot, like we knew exactly, the smart contracts and the other things in the Lightning Network transactions would look like Bitcoin transactions. Cool. Got it. Amazing. Awesome. But we always hear about the actual like scalability. And to be fair, Ethereum also does this sometimes as well. And I know that there's so many people in the comment section who are writing me like long essays right now. By all means, please let me know exactly what's going on. Because I go through the news with all of you to let you have a daily update in a 25, 30-minute period of what's happening within the cryptocurrency space. I cannot, and I mean this in the most honest way possible. Now stay with me here. I cannot know everything about every single cryptocurrency project. You know how many times over the years I've sat there and I've been like, I don't know what they're saying in this article. People are like, dude, how are you not reading about the number 17th biggest coin? And I'm like, I go outside. Like I see my friends. I have other, I cannot. So the point is, does scalable mean extra side chains? Does it mean extra layers around Cardano? Does it mean that the main chain will not be upgraded? Does it mean that Cardano has 300, 200, 150 current transactions per second and it's going to 1,000, 10,000? Like, what are the actual numbers to get people more hyped? If you have in an article, if you have in in an actual roadmap, Cardano is going from 200 transactions per second to 10,000 guaranteed. Well, that causes the bullish case for Cardano to become the number 2 coin to become a lot higher, as opposed to simply saying that they're going to be, it's more scalability. They're also focusing on interoperability and sustainability of the network. What does that mean? Interoperability with what? Other coins, other chains, wrapped Cardano. The vision is to make even micropayments feasible on the network and make fees predictable and cheap. Okay, the upgrades to the Basho stage will be launched mostly in the next year. When? With the new era starting and delivering on promises such as the price of Cardano is likely to be affected. In what way? This has been the trend in previous milestones reaching moments for the proof-of-stake network. Recall that the run-up to the launch of Alonzo saw the price of Cardano's token hit $3. So yeah, this is very popular news. Here's the actual chart right here. Someone made like an interactive map of you can see all the cool things launched on the Cardano ecosystem. I guess to let all the new people who are writing angry comments right now know, because I know you're there. Like I've been doing this channel long enough that I know that if I sneeze too hard, I've offended 16 people. I lost my complete train of thought. Oh yeah, there we go. I hold Cardano. I've been buying Cardano for a very long time. I told people here that they should look into adding Cardano to their portfolios when it was 9 cents. I've seen a lot of you say thank you. You're welcome. It's just complete logic because Cardano had so many things promised. If it had gone from even 18 cents, you would have doubled your money. But alas, here we are. A lot of these things have actually come to fruition. It's more of a Cardano says what they're planning on doing, but never says what they're going to do. Like, later on, I'm going to get food. What kind of food? Are you getting breakfast? Are you getting lunch? Are you getting dinner? Are you going out with friends? Are you making the food yourself? It's always very surface level. Alas, I still personally expect Cardano to hit $5. I think an $8 Cardano is completely possible, especially with a run up to a $250,000 Bitcoin. It seems all but doable, if you will. I would just always like a little bit more, information when it came to what they're actually planning on doing. And no, for the life of me, please stop asking. I am not going to, people keep writing comments all the time asking me to look into this coin and that coin. And sometimes just for giggles, I look at the number position of these coins that people keep asking me to look into. It's coin like 3,000. It's coin like 982 when they're like, you don't understand, this coin's going to be major. And I'm like, yes, of course it is. I've heard this since 2017, and all the coins I've been told about are now in the top 10 and not in the number 40 position or 40. Anyway, then on top of that, to also fit into this as well, it says institutional investors leap into Cardano and Ethereum as Bitcoin market dominance drops. This is typical. This happens every single bull run. This is not a spectacularly, specially different bull run. Bitcoin's price will rise, but mathematically the other coins will pass it. This happens all the time. We even saw articles, you can even look it up. If you go into your local search engine, type in Ethereum flippening. It sounds as weird as it sounds, as it's spelled. You'll find articles from the last couple of weeks with everyone discussing the same exact thing from 2017. When will Ethereum flip Bitcoin? Is Ethereum going to flip Bitcoin? Can Ethereum flip Bitcoin? Because it's the same thing over and over. If Bitcoin goes up by 13%, the other altcoins will go up by 22%. It'll continue to happen. And then usually what ends up taking place is that if we see that any other coin looks close to getting near Bitcoin's dominance and or market cap, the market will fall. Bitcoin will fall a bit and the rest of the market will tumble because that's just how the background players work. Anyway, so no big surprise there. I think the number from this actual company was, there we go. Cardano's year to date is $108 million worth of institutional money. This is the money that we know about from the actual institutional spaces. It says Ethereum inflows totaled $17 million last week, and Cardano was right behind it with $16 million. And there's a little chart right there because I know that people like looking at the charts. Yeah. So Cardano is very big. I expect it to be big. I just always want more information. Like, don't give me the bare minimum. Like, I want to be able to tell other people, hey, Cardano's going to have 9 million transactions per second. Why are you not getting some? Kind of thing. You know, I like numbers. Anyway. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University. And let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudd, Wiser, Mortified, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony, Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plum Tomato, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grelay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moha Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold E3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodemic, Boatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk, Schwinn, Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a new Patreon supporter. Thank you for all the NFT support. Thank you for all the support on the channel. All around, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $60,554 US. It is down by 8%. I believe, I wasn't looking as I was scrolling down, but I believe the entire market is currently in red. We are still a lot higher than we were just a couple of months ago. Always keep that in mind. I know this number may seem horrifically horrible. We were not at a $60,000 Bitcoin just a few weeks ago. We were not at a $4,298 Ethereum just a few weeks ago. And last year, this time, I think Binance Coin, what was it, like $12? So, you know, we are far ahead of where we were before, but I understand that people want to make a bit more money. I don't think any coin is bucking the trend. All these stable coins are in green because, you know, they're being used and bought up right now. Yep. Okay. Clayton, for some reason, is up by 1%. Not really sure why, but good job, Clay. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you all enjoyed somewhat. I know the news isn't, happy-go-lucky today, but what have you. Hope that you all are having, despite that, a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.